Unlock the power of AI-driven avatars with AI Avatar Tech by Technikole. Elevate your brand and captivate your audience with custom animated videos.
Welcome to the Meta Mind Shift Show, where we embark on a journey into the metaverse with your guide, NiKole Maxwell, also known as the Metaverse Goddess, Technikole. The metaverse represents a new era of digital transformation, where we can augment our creativity and experience a whole new level of immutability. Join us as we explore and delve deeper into this exciting new digital realm. From process automation for your digital transformation to the latest advancements in AI and RPA, blockchain and Web3, as well as innovative ways to experience AR, VR, XR, and more. We will discuss the latest trends and insights on how to navigate the metaverse, catch up with the news, and unpack issues that nobody else is talking about. It's time for your meta mind shift. Let's discover the metaverse together. Visit our website at metamindshift.com to learn more. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and then share with a friend.
What's love got to do with it, y'all? What has love got to do with it? That is the question I'm asking myself as I'm loving my technology today. Less and less. It is one of those days where, yeah, they call me technical, but man, I'm having technical difficulties today. Thank you for hanging in there and welcome to the Meta Mind Shift Show. I am really happy to have all of you here. I am saddened today because today I have to report that our very loved, beloved Tina Turner has passed on to glory. She is gone, y'all. And so in the background, I might get some copyright strikes for this, but I don't care because I'm thinking of a new direction. And I have to say, she is awesome. And, you know, I've been on a vibe with her all day today. I have needed that because, you know, there's some stuff that goes on in life that makes you forget about the metaverse. It makes you pump your brakes. When life gets real, it definitely hits. And so some of y'all know that I have been dealing with health stuff all year long, and it definitely hit me once again. So I was in the ER the other day, and it made me realize that there are people with stuff on their minds that they ain't thinking about the metaverse. They ain't got time or space to think about the metaverse. And so I want to just be mindful and just say to everyone who is going through something, there's another side of it, and you will get through it. I will get through it. We will get through this together. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody over there. The metaverse is for fun. The metaverse is for business. The metaverse is a space and a place where we can come together. But it is not meant to take place in reality. And so I think that that is important because some people don't give that message. They say the opposite, like, oh, you know, this is a new reality and we're all going to be doing this thing where we're all connected to our neurals are linked together and we're all connected in that way. And I don't want that. There's some scary stuff about some of the stuff that's out there to me. Everyone has their own levels of fears, and those are some of mine. I don't like things that intrude into my body. I like the idea of turning off a metaverse space or an environment and being back into my reality where it is. And I like that. And there are other people who don't. So whether you're just now learning what the metaverse is, or you're here because you're here every week, and I appreciate you, and or you're listening on replays even, enjoy your reality. Enjoy what the reality has to bring you, and enjoy all the technical difficulties that come from life and from actual technical difficulties, because technology is not perfect. Now, having said that, we're going to get today's show started. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the Meta Mind Shift Show. This is the show where we take an opportunity to tap into the metaverse and to kind of try to decide and decipher what it is and what and how we can enjoy it and how we can participate in it and how we can kind of make some space for it in our lives. And one of the things that's happening these days is AI, artificial intelligence. We took a break from AI last week. We're back to AI this week because it's too important. Too many advancements and innovation are happening. People need to understand this digital transformation is comprehensive. It is not just one piece. You can bite off a piece, but the rest of it is still happening. Regardless of how much you choose to bite off, it is still going. This truck, this train is moving straight ahead, steam straight forward. So as we are looking at our futures and we're looking at kind of how we show up and how we operate in the metaverse and in other spaces and how all this stuff connects together, AI is certainly one of the things that we stumble across, right? Like, I am someone who believes wholeheartedly that AI should be a supplement to our daily lives and should not be supplanting our daily lives. Like, we should not be supplanted as humans and have this AI acting in our stead. Like, that is not the future I want for me, for you, for my nieces, nephews. We have a future that we are responsible of creating and for creating. And we need to make sure that we're doing that with due diligence, with ethics, with diversity and equity and inclusion, putting all of those things together, making sure that when this AI is developed, when this AI tools, whether it be a plugin or a full-on utility or a whole entire app, or a new language model for that matter, when they are developed, that they are developed with humans in the room who look different from each other, who come from different landscapes across this diverse technical world that we're in. Their shared experiences are what should be creating our metaverse. So, and the AI that's going to be in it and running it with us. Now, again, I am not the person who thinks that AI doesn't exist. I'm not the person who thinks that AI is coming to intrude on everything that we're doing. Although for some people, they're trying to actually make that happen. So you guys got to keep your ears to the ground, got to keep listening to these congressional hearings that are going on so you can understand the perspective of some of the folks out there who are talking and thinking about the metaverse in different ways and AI in different ways, right? Digital transformation, what is it? Digital transformation means that you are changing your footprints. You are changing the way that you move and you act and you proceed on the internet. And so here on this show, we're always talking about the movement towards the metaverse and what that looks like for all of us. But, you know, for some people, it's different. Like, I've been doing digital transformations for 15 years now. So back in the day, I used to take paper and convert it to electronic formats. And back when I did it, it was taking paper formats like invoicing and bills. If you've ever seen a corporation's phone bills, you know that they can be boxes and boxes and boxes, banker boxes, full of a monthly invoice, if it's a paper version of it. And now we've moved into electronic. And so I used to move documents from paper to electronic. So we would go from having a paper document to the electronic feed of like an EDI, or we would get it through a portal and pull down some flat files, or we would have CDs and DVDs and things like that to make use of. Today, most of that stuff is done via portal and feed. You don't even have to download anything because it gets sent directly to you. There's a link, you pop it in, and then like it gets teleported wherever it needs to go now. Now there is automation, and that automation takes that invoice and begins to process it, and it strips it of all the needed information, and it puts everything into nice little cells for you in Excel or a spreadsheet. And then that is tabulated and compiled into whatever AP software that you have. And then your accounts payable files are paid from there. That whole process is something that I used to do. back in the day for telecom expense management. And so automation has been here. It's not new, y'all. It's not. Like I said, I was doing automation back in 2005, 2008, 2009, around there. So that's when my journey with automation started. It has continued throughout this whole time, but now we're into a state where AI, artificial intelligence, is automating tasks and procedures. And so it is really cool, especially when you start thinking about the different functions within your business and how your business can make use of some of these different technologies that are out here. So when you're thinking about your business, think about like things that you think that are tedious and mundane, things that drive your team insane, very repetitive tasks. Those are all good candidates to be automated, right? So when we're thinking about that, then you think about me. And so you think about me as an implementation manager. I am an oh no, hold on, we'll be right back. All right, so hopefully you can still hear me. That has been happening, and I apologize for that, but it keeps going out on me. Anyway, as you're thinking about that, you need to think about your implementation person who is going to be running kind of the project for you and making the bridges and gateways between your people, your systems, and your processes. And it's not always a project manager. Your project manager is somebody who definitely you can depend on, but they are also someone who, you don't necessarily want to talk about your technology because that's not their role. They are someone who is managing the timelines and perhaps the budget. Your implementation person is coordinating the actual tasks. Your implementation person is in the position to where they actually understand the technology. They can make decisions. They are someone who is empowered to act on your behalf or on the client's behalf to actually get some stuff done. They, I've done requirements analysis, business process, whatever it is. That is what an end-to-end implementation consultant does. So every week y'all hear me say something different. That's because every week there's something different that I have done. And so thinking about some things that I have done, I put together a couple of blog articles. You guys can check those out. But one of them that's going to go up after today's show is going to be my article about proposals. And so I came across an article today or a couple days ago, and it was, hey, talking about how artificial intelligence is not good for proposals. And I'm like, you what? It absolutely is. And, the article was spot on about some stuff. You don't want to just take it at face value for a proposal if you're going to use it. That's going to be the blog there. It is shift.technikole.com. That's Technikole with a K. But that'll get you over to the Hashnode blog. You can also just search for it on Hashnode. It's called MetaMindShift there. But I have an article coming out about proposals and why ChatGPT is perfect for proposals. And so, when you're thinking about proposals, you've got your color team reviews. You have, by the way, let me just say this so that this makes sense because this is a different conversation than what we normally have. For me, I used to be the director of professional services for a small software company that specialized in government contracts, proposals, the RFP process and propose process, bid capture and propose. So all those things. But I specialized in workflow automation and automating the resume volume through a tool that we created called Resume Manager. And so when we're thinking about that, man, there's so much that can be automated within the federal proposal cycle that, there's so many tasks. First of all, creating the proposal itself, putting together your assets, all of that. Like that's what our tool was for, was it kind of collated all the stuff together into a slick little repository that allowed you to utilize, things very quickly, get things ramped up very quickly. But what it didn't do is the level of automation that we have now. And so now when you include a tool like ChatGPT, your color team reviews, you're basically adding on an expert in whatever field you need for your proposal. And so this is the same, whether it's a federal proposal or you're doing something for your small business and you're proposing dollars. Those people aren't always at your grasp. So you got to pull together your team, your reviewers. You got to set up review cycles and make sure that everybody's got time to do things. ChatGPT or any of these AI tools can really be used to augment your creativity when your creativity is being a proposal specialist. So when you're thinking about being a proposal specialist, a coordinator, any of the team members that you have, whether it's a subject matter expert or, kind of a stakeholder in the process, you can augment their presence with ChatGPT, and you can just program it to say what it needs to say. So I want you to act as a subject matter expert. So if it was filling in for me back in the day, it would have filled in as a subject matter expert for a telecom expense management implementations or telecom expense management proof of concept. And then it would know all the things that I know, like USOCs and the rates and what ILEX and CLEX there are out there, like those kinds of things. But, and if that's foreign to y'all, just apply whatever jargon you want to from your own space, because the same thing is true. So if you're in broadcast journalism, or if you are in the blockchain and you're trying to put together a hackathon and you don't have an expert in whatever, you can use ChatGPT to help you augment that creativity. So whatever your flavor of creativity is at the moment, and like me, if you're like me, you probably span different flavors of creativity throughout the day. So you can use ChatGPT. Now, why am I telling you that, and why am I taking up so much time thinking about it? So I am having a series of courses that are coming up, and we are going to be having sip and learns. So sip and learn how to use ChatGPT. And the first one that we're doing, the first and the last one that I'm going to do, are going to be all dedicated to the federal proposal cycle. So I'm stepping into my roots. Y'all know I don't like going back to that side too much. But for this, I feel like it's too important because there's a lot of information that's floating out there that people are saying, hey, you can't do this, you can't do this. And I think that just take a different perspective on it, and you absolutely can. You have to, position yourself as you best can for your business. And so when you're a small business, sometimes that means that you wear a whole bunch of hats and you get exhausted. So that is the truth. And I hope all y'all small business owners laughed with me on that, because it's definitely real talk. The other article that I have out there at shift.technikole.com, that is the Meta Mind Shift blog, I did an article this week about our lovely Facebook. Facebook, last year, they came out with a tool that we never got to talk about here on the show because other stuff was going on. But that tool was called Omnivore. And y'all know what an omnivore is, right? Like it's something that eats up everything, right? So if you think about a carnivore and, the different types of dinosaurs, you've got carnivorous things out there, you've got omnivorous things, and then the vegans don't eat anything but plants and things like that. But our omnivores eat everything. And so this tool is meant to be an all-encompassing AI. And I'm okay with that a little bit, right? Like, so in the right hands, an all-encompassing AI could be a good tool to use, perhaps, maybe, sort of. But when it comes to Facebook, we already know how we feel about them on this show. If y'all have ever hung out with me for a minute or two, you know how I feel about Facebook. I have learned this week that it is a hereditary thing. That runs in my blood because there's family folk of mine that also dislike Facebook just as much as I do. And I was delighted to learn that. It just kind of was really cool. But we're thinking about Facebook or Meta, whatever you want to call them these days, creating a tool and putting it in their hands when this tool does everything from creating images to creating text and collaborative conversations like ChatGPT. It creates images, it creates data sources, it creates business models, it creates videos. So all of those things together, you now have the ultimate marketing machine, right? So the ultimate marketing machine. And that is what all these AI tools are, really. But when we're thinking about Facebook and putting it in Facebook's hands, we have to pause, because the billions of users who are still using Facebook and aren't thinking twice about this conversation that I'm having right now are the ones who are going to be affected by a tool like that being in the hands of a company like that. The company that says that, hey, we're going to use this to start pruning against bullies and bad things on the internet, and we're going to use it to help us trim down on commenting and fake posts and things like that. Yes, we want them to do that. That's their responsibility as an organization. But we also know that when they do that, they do it maliciously, that there's always something behind the scenes that's actually happening that we don't know is happening until later when it gets revealed in a congressional hearing. We have seen that Facebook has been giving out these headsets to children and young kids who are not supposed to be having them in the first place, but they've been giving them out to these schools for the last years and couple of years, not only here in the States, but across the seas in Dubai and everywhere else too. And yes, we want our kids to have exposure to different technologies and AI, and certainly headsets is one of them. We want them to have metaverse exposure, but putting a headset on a child's brain who has not fully adapted to that technology can be harmful. And we've seen that. We've heard from experts that is a real thing. So the internet age of consent is 13 anyway. You're not supposed to be on the internet, but all of a sudden our 5-year-olds have donated headsets from Facebook. And that is for one reason and one reason only, because of the bottom line. The bottom line is and has been that they want to have their generation of consumers, the next generation of consumers, to come up loving Facebook, not knowing any of that history because they're children and they don't know about, kind of all the stuff that's going on. They now have a fresh source, a fresh pool of candidates to not only pull data from, but to groom. And those are real things. Like, we've seen that. We've heard their actual employees testify to this kind of thing. And so when you have a headset in VR, things you've learned on this show. So when you've got a headset in VR, that is sitting here in the ocular region, right? So it sits on your eyes. So anytime an ad pops up and you react to it, that is data that's being captured. Anytime your pupils dilate when you see that slick little avatar over there wearing those cute red pants or those hot pair of shoes, or that cute little wearable, they see it and they know. And that is recorded as data. And so when we go to the next step where we have an all-encompassing AI tool that has the any and everything, that AI tool can now be programmed to say, NiKole Maxwell loves the color green. So any ads that we show her are going to be in the color green because she likes it. And perhaps that means that I'm no longer exposed to the color orange because I have a preference to the color green. And when I stop being exposed to those things, then I stop knowing about them. And it's a way that information and data stops being shared because it's being so customized and uniqueified and authentic to me. And yes, we want things to be customized, but not in that way. So there is something very real that we need to wake up and think about when it comes to our AI and what it's doing and whose hands it's in. When we're thinking about omnivore, break that up Meta omnivore. Let's talk about what that means. Meta means beyond. Metaverse means what? Beyond the universe, right? The infinity symbol, that blue sign that they have changed their logo to, means forever. That is the infinity symbol. And so I've talked about this for 2 years now. I don't know if I've ever said it on this show, but I've certainly talked about it. I was talking about it on Naja Roberts, Ahead of the Crypto Curve, and she remembered I had said that in the Clubhouse room. And that's what it is. That's an infinity sign. That means forever, beyond the universe. But when you put omnivore in there, omnivore means all things consumed. Sit with that for a minute. Forever, all things consumed, forever, beyond the universe. So basically, they want you to be a consumer forever. And that is what we talk about every week. We do not want that to happen to us. We have to be educated and informed and empowered. So make sure that you are thinking about where you're putting your data, read your terms of service, tap into decentralization, and enjoy your AI, as long as you do all those things first. And be careful with the information that you're putting out there and how it's being used against you and for you. Now, for you, we are going to be having a series of courses, and those series of courses are a sip and learn. And during the sip and learn, you're going to sip on a little something, whatever you want to sip on, whether that be soda, tea, water, wine, whatever. And I'm going to teach, and then we are going to do. So not only are you going to learn how to do certain things, we're going to talk about it just like we talk about it here on the show with some visual examples, of course, but then you are actually going to step into AI for yourself, and you're going to discover how, first of all, how this tool works, and then how you can make use of it for your own personal use cases. So that is going to be available to you, and it's not available yet, but right after the show, it will be available, and you'll be able to go to technikole.com, and we're going to go sip and learn. And the whole schedule will be up there for all the different, and I'm just going to do sip and learn. Or maybe we'll just do sip. Let's just do sip. That's easy, right? Technikole/sip. Technikole.com/sip. And you're going to be able to go there and register for the courses. And then also you'll see the whole schedule, like pick whichever one works for you and jump in. These will be low-cost courses. They're not free, but they are going to be low-cost. We're starting with proposals. We're ending with proposals. So if you missed the first proposal one, you're going to catch the one at the end of the month. Okay, so I'm doing this all throughout June. Speaking of the month of June, y'all. Last year at this time, NiKole Maxwell was busy. What was I doing? I was creating generative artwork, and I created a movement, a challenge, if you will, called 30 Days of Metaverse. And so if you were around back then and you caught up and you caught in, you tapped in to me talking about all the 30 days that I did. And I put in a whole lot of work to make 30 days of unique experiences for myself thinking about the metaverse. And that's really what it was an opportunity to just sit with the idea of what the metaverse is and how we could bring that into fruition. And so I have a whole NFT project up there, and it is 30 Days of Metaverse. Now, I want to show you guys this because I want to show you how far we have come. Because I used AI to generate all the art for the 30 Days of Metaverse collection last year at this time. And this was before DALL-E 2 came out. And I got access to DALL-E 2 in the middle of the 30 Days of Metaverse. So when you are looking at this, you will see that the artwork looks way different than what it does now. We're going to go to the gallery of thought. We're giving that a minute to come up on our screen. So when we're thinking about the metaverse, so that's what we did, was like every day for 30 days, we sat down and we thought about certain ideas for the metaverse. And it was certain ideas. So like every day I would think about like, what does sowing seeds of the future look like in the metaverse. And I would ask my AI tool and it would put together the images that I asked for. And then I would mint those on the blockchain. And so at the time, I think because of kind of the space, like where everything was and how everybody was kind of just now tapping in, I did everything on OpenSea. And I really wanted to do it on Tezos, but I ended up going with OpenSea. So this is NiKole Maxwell's Gallery of Thought. You can see I have a ton of NFTs out here. There's a couple hundred or so. But there is a 30 days of metaverse somewhere, and it's here. So you can see all of these, pretty much everything that I've ever done is generative art, unless it's a domain. It was generative art of some kind. So GAN art. And I'm still creating now everything. But 30 days of metaverse. Where is it? I'm trying to find the collection. So we can just go to the collection. There it is. 30 days of metaverse. So there are 30 of these because June has 30 days. And these are the 30. We're going to put this into a different view. So you can see now, I created all of these, all 30 of them. Some of them are really cool, and some of them it's like, what was she thinking? But that's all right. This is my initial tweet. I caught it, in the style of Jack Dorsey. I caught it and just said, you know what? 30 days of metaverse, get ready. And that was a year ago. So we are getting ready to think about doing this again. I might actually turn this into 365 days of metaverse, but I'm not sure yet. So my NFTs, some of them at the time, all of them were AI artwork. So AI created all of these. And then I added in things like this one, I added in motion. So this one is actually PvP in the metaverse. So if you don't know what PvP is player versus player. And player versus player is what we use in the metaverse world or not the metaverse, but in the gaming world to fight. And so my question for the day was, is there going to be a way that we could fight in the metaverse? Like, what's it going to look like if we PvP? Like, will there be, and literally, like I said that, will there be PvP in the metaverse? A foundational predecessor of the metaverse is gaming, specifically MMORPGs. In our most beloved games, we have player versus player activities that allow two players to battle it out to see who's right, who's wrong, and who's the best. The question on my mind the day that I did this, which was what day was this? This was day 3. The question on my mind is, will there be PvP in the metaverse? Will we have to create, or will we have or create space to battle it out? And then, like, this item actually contains both the image and the animated rendering of PvP in the metaverse. Players are represented by their avatars who cannot be permanently harmed. So it's kind of fun, right? Imagine breaking out your lightsaber or your favorite staff to make it happen with your coworker or your project team to determine whether or not an idea will make it to the final rendering. And I said this idea is not hashtag for everyone, and that's okay. So I think that it's really cool just to kind of look back at stuff. So like this year, I'm thinking of a couple of different ways that we could do this. So you are obviously welcome to do anything that you want to do. If you want to participate, this is what this is. So let me just kind of back up a little bit. The 30 Days of Metaverse is a challenge that you take because it takes 30 days to make a pattern or a behavior a thing. And so it is based on the 30 days of code. And on the 30 days of code, you have the ability to code every day. So if you're a coder, you're getting into learn, let's say JavaScript or Java or C# or something like that, you're learning how to build Python. you're learning how to build every day, and you do a little piece of code. So that's what this is built around, is the idea of 30 days of thinking about the metaverse. But guess what? This year, not only do we have 30 days of GAN art, like I did with last year. I did most of those with Starry AI, but there's also real AI now. And I don't say that because Starry AI was great. It was fun to work with and fun to kind of see my words turn into art. But now we have tools that have upped the ante. And so now I'm not stuck with kind of the images that I had. I can really create the idea that's in my mind. So using the power of AI and my words, right? And so we have things like Dolly 2, we have Midjourney, we have Blue Willow, you have Hugging Face, Stable Diffusion, all of those different AI tools and more that are out there that can help you really generate what it is you want. So if you want to do exactly what we did last year, you can definitely tap in, think about the metaverse, and then create an NFT out of that. Now, you also have the ability this year, which you really didn't last year, to go into the metaverse, right? So there are spaces out here that you can actually participate in and turn that experience into what you write about in your NFT, or create music, or create artwork. Like I created a gospel song using Google LM, which is AI that I'm testing with Google. There are a lot of different ways that you can show up. Whatever your creativity is, again, you're augmenting your creativity with AI. You can certainly do that thing that you do, and then think about how it shows up in the metaverse. If you are a journalist, like you can do the 30 days of metaverse where you focus on talking about the metaverse in your articles for 1 month. Every day that month, each one of those articles becomes an NFT, and you make that NFT. Now, some people are going to get caught up on the NFT thing. The last couple of shows here, we have easily created poets. Poets are proof of experience. So I think what I'm going to do this year is use the poet system to create all the NFTs for all the things that I'm going to do. It just makes it a little bit easier. And then they all get turned into an NFT, and then I can put them into my collection. Yeah, and I'm thinking about that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. I might still throw them on Tezos because I'm a Tezos girl. But there's a lot of other blockchains that are out there also. So the world is waking up to tokens. So ish coins are definitely sweeping the world. So if you want to create your own coin, your own token, do that. 30 days of metaverse. Think about like that whole process. Maybe you want to step through it and iterate. But moreover, you can actually go and experience metaverses. Like you couldn't do that as much this year. Like you had like a couple of platforms to choose from. But this year you have like, there's so many out there. You can actually go in Horizon, where you couldn't really do that last year. If you choose to do Facebook, that's your business. But my preference is going to be spatial. I'm discovering new metaverses every day. So I like to go metaverse hopping. So you can actually find the metaverse that works for you and jump in. There are a lot of different ways that you can participate in this. So rather than me saying, hey, my schedule is busy and I'm not going to have time to do this, I'm going to find a way to make this happen because I want to keep this going. It's, the second year, and it's a cool way to mark milestones of growth because you see where we came from last year and where we're going this year is totally different. You can also, if you are a world builder, we have a lot more world builders than we did last year. If you're a world builder, you have an opportunity to build something for the metaverse. I might create a space and then add a little component to that space every day. And then that's, at the end of the day, that's what I walk away with as my keepsakes from this year. We've got a few more minutes, and I want to talk really quickly about some things that I found this week. So first of all, the metaverse, spatial. Man, there is no space like spatial. And I know a lot of people kind of don't like spatial. The leading contenders right now for user experiences are spatial, VR chat, Decentraland, and then Engage. I still don't like engagers avatars, and until they fix that, I will not be setting foot in there intentionally. But the other ones all have great-ish avatar systems that you can kind of finagle with a little bit, and you can kind of create a character and avatar that looks like you. We are still not to the point of the metaverse, so just be clear, these are metaverse spaces. They're platforms that you can go to, but there's also a lot of other different platforms, so don't be limited to just the ones you hear about all the time. You want to make sure that you're actually like stepping out and stepping into other metaverses. There's AR metaverses. So if you're into OVR, which is over the earth, if you are interested in Super World, that's an AR space that you can go to. There are spaces like Grid. Someone was on my LinkedIn and they said that they created a space called Grid. Never been there, but go check it out. There's Nowhere Land. There's a ton, y'all. Like, so those 8 people have one. There's there's a lot of different places that you can go. And I'm trying to think. Spatial, Roblox, Minecraft. And so Roblox and Spatial are coming out with updates all the time. Spatial came out with cars you can drive. You can create your own avatars. There's now a badge system. The creator system in Spatial is going through the roof. So if you like the Spatial environment, if you want like a single platform between them and On Cyber, like I feel like that's cool for me. Like that is going to get me where I need to go. But there are other platforms, and I'm telling you, do not get stuck in just one. Now, people didn't hear me when I said this about AltSpace, so hear me now. Do not get stuck in just one metaverse. Do not do that. You want to make sure that you are well-versed in other spaces, because at any point in time, a platform can go down. And that is why decentralization matters. That is why the blockchain matters, and why you want to make sure that you understand that you own your assets and your property and that space itself, because if that platform goes down and you don't own it, it's gone forever. Just ask the folks over at AltSpace, because Microsoft did that on March 10th. They turned down the whole entire AltSpace experience, and people are still crying about that now because they didn't listen. So in addition to that, Roblox now is launching their AI creator mode. Ah, dang it. Maybe you can still hear me. Hopefully you can still hear me. Technical difficulty day over in my world. So anyway, like I was saying, you want to make sure that you have access to the metaverse space that you that resonates with you. Check out what's going on over in Spatial, because they've got some great updates. But Roblox is coming through because Roblox is adding AI. And what that means is the creator program at Roblox is going to allow you to speak your space into existence. Now, we've seen this roll out on Unity. We've seen it rolled out, I believe, with Unreal Engine 2. But now Roblox, the space for the kids, the space where your kids can now be developers, y'all, think about that. They can speak what they want into existence. So if they want a racetrack that's located on Mars, and they want to have avatars that are in, like, you know, the Robloxia style, whatever, then they can do that. I am a fan of Roblox. Y'all know that I started most of this journey by helping people to play Roblox with their kids, at least part of this journey with that. So I was helping people to play Roblox with their kids and how to actually acclimate to the Roblox platform. I do a lot of different things just because it's fun. But don't sleep on Roblox. Adults are taking Roblox over, and the kids, I don't know where they're going to go. But we need to find a space that is kid friendly and that they can stay in. And so Roblox is trying to find that balance. In addition to that, we already talked about Omnivore. Man, we were going to spend most of today's session with Google Workspace and checking out the different things that you can now do in the Google Workspace. But we are sitting on time right now. And so I'm going to keep going. If you have to drop off, which thank you to Roku, thank you to the Pod TV team over there. If the next show has to jump on, then I understand. We've got programming to stick to, and that's cool. But the Meta Mind Shift show is going to keep going. So if you're following us on YouTube, you can tap in to the YouTube channel. If you are following along on my Twitter, I'm going to stay here, obviously, because, yeah, that's where we're at. But my Twitch as well. So family, hi, y'all. I'm happy that you're here. Please do like, subscribe, share this video if you found it beneficial. And since we're talking about things that you find beneficial, and we're about to go through a little bit of training, a little bit of things, if you find the Meta Mind Shift show helpful, if you find NiKole Maxwell helpful, if you like, kind of conversing, do me a favor and pay your dues. And that is subscribe and share this video right now. Share it with your family, share it with your friends, share it out on your socials so that people know that you're watching so they can watch as well. That is encouraging to me to let me know that there's people out there, but it's also encouraging to sponsors. So make sure that you are doing the thing to help keep this show propelled. And if you want to provide donations, you can also do that at technikole.eth if you are on Web3. If not, you can go to Technikole on PayPal. And so that is paypal.me/Technikole, TECHNIKOLE. That'll get you to me. All right. So we were going to look at Google, y'all. So we're going to go check out. Google has been killing the game. And some people disagree with that, but I don't. I say Google has been killing the game because they have. And they've added some really cool stuff to our Gmails and to our workspaces that we need to be aware of. And so what I am going to do now is try very hard to share this with you without sharing with you too much. So let's do one of these numbers. And yeah, so we're going to do that. All right, cool. Now I'm going to share the screen with you. Okay, so what we have here is my Gmail. This is one of my Gmail accounts, and I've just pulled up a blank screen so that you can see it. Google has added in the ability to use AI, so Bard and Vertex, right from your email. And so what you can do is have Google help you through creation of your actual email message. So down here at the bottom, you're going to see a new icon, and that icon is like a little magic tool. So if you're used to technology and things like that, like you'll see that it is there. So this is a tool, and if you hover over it, it says "Help me write Workspace Labs." So we're going to do that. I'm going to click it, and the first thing it says is, help me write an apology letter to my child's school. The next thing it says is a glowing review for my team member. Let's do that. A glowing review for my digital transformation coach consultant. I'm not a coach. All right. So Google begins to think. It's thinking. And now you might be thinking about your own experience right now, and whether or not your Gmail is doing this for you, that all depends on whether or not you signed up. If you are someone who participates in betas and alphas, then you are in, and you should have already received your invitation. If you are not, then no, it's not live for you yet. It's going in waves for everybody. All right, so we're still testing this. It says, hello, dear hiring manager. I'm writing to express my sincere gratitude for the work that NiKole Maxwell has done as our digital transformation consultant. NiKole has been an invaluable asset to our team. She has a deep understanding of digital transformation and has been able to help us develop a comprehensive plan to achieve our goals. She has been a great mentor to our team, sharing her knowledge and expertise with us. I am particularly impressed with NiKole's ability to think outside of the box and come up with innovative solutions to our challenges. She has also been able to effectively communicate our vision to our stakeholders and get them on board with our plan. As a result of NiKole Maxwell's work, we have been able to make significant progress in our digital transformation journey. We have developed a strong foundation for future growth and are well positioned to succeed in the digital age. I highly recommend NiKole Maxwell for any digital transformation project. She's a talented professional with a proven record of success. Y'all, now if you ever wanted to do me a favor, you're going to go into your Gmail right now, write that, and then go post it on Alignable and on Google Reviews. So that is an outstanding one. And if you don't like it, for whatever reason, if that was not the thing for you, you can come down here at the bottom and click on recreate. And in a few moments, it will repopulate something different. Down here, if you wanted to say, hey, that's a little too informal, I need to formalize this a little bit, or maybe it's too short, there are options for that. So you can elaborate, you can shorten. And you know what? Google always likes to help you feel lucky. So if they're feeling, froggy, then you can say, I'm feeling lucky. So just give me that, whatever it is. And so it will take a minute and then re-render the message. Okay, so it was feeling lucky, so it wrote a song. It wrote a song. All right, well, that happened. So if you don't like it from here, you can decide to go ahead and thumbs up it. You're going to say yes, no. I'm going to say no to that one. But it was, I don't really know what to say about this. Yeah, I was feeling lucky. So I'm a tester, so I am going to do this. I'm going to say I was feeling lucky, but it popped out. It popped out a poem for a recommendation. Not quite what we needed. All right. And we're going to submit that. All right. So thank you for everything you've done. We're lucky to have you on the team. Like, I like that last line. So if, let's say that I did like this, which I don't, so I'm going to go and we're going to recreate. We're going to say something different. See what happens. But once you get something that you actually are comfortable with after it's done creating, you can go ahead and insert that into your actual message, and then you can modify it from here. So there you go. You can add your signature to the block like you always would, do any of that kind of stuff. So now we're going to go over to Google Docs. Lord, where's Google Docs at while these people are looking at my email? Okay, so we're going to go and we're going to go to Google Docs. And hopefully it did not take me where I wanted to go. So hold on a second. All right. I think I stopped sharing, which I did. Okay, good. So let me pull it up. Give me a minute. I'm trying to get it to not be so overshare friendly. And yep. Okay. So here we go. Let me share this screen with you. What I've done is I've gone ahead and pulled up Google Docs. And so what I just did, I had to make sure that I was actually using the Google Doc that is enrolled in the thing, because I have several different Google accounts. But I wanted to make sure I was using the account that is actually enrolled in the workspace labs or workshop labs. So here we are. Now we see our little magical tool again. It's right here on the side. And so you can click that at any point in time. Just one click it. You don't have to double click it. You can start writing and you can say, you know what, I want to do a proposal. So we're talking about proposals, right? I want to do a proposal, and then help me write. So I'm going to say, help me write a proposal. And we're going to go with the other version of proposal. We're going to go for marriage. So if you want to hear about how to write a government proposal, you need to register for that class. So we're going to do this marriage proposal. And this is the information it's giving you. So it's giving you tips on what you need to do for marriage proposals. And then it's also giving you a sample proposal. And so they say, dear partner, I love you more than anything in the world. You are my best friend, my lover, and my soulmate, and I can't imagine a life without you. I want to spend the rest of my days making you happy and being there for you. Will you? And so there we go. You can either use that, or again, you have the option to recreate and rewrite it. I can't believe it's been, 30 years since we first met. It feels like just yesterday. La la la, we were walking on the beach or whatever. Since then, we've shared so many amazing memories together, and I've loved watching you grow and change over the years, and you drive me crazy, but I love you, so let's get so there we go. And so you have the option to enjoy that, and if you like it, you can pop it. Now, this is what's cool about this, right? So like you have this whole thing, but now you're able to actually come into, and you're not seeing any of this. Thank you, team. You're not seeing any of that. Sorry. Let me recreate this. We're going to do something different. All right. So the icon is here. This is your icon. That's your little Magic Labs icon. You're going to come here, and we're going to go ahead and go with what they're saying. So let's do an example resume for our brand marketing manager. So resume for marketing. And so it's going to give you tips, and then it's going to give you an example. So Google thinks about it. Now, if you are a ChatGPT user, the instant thing that you're noticing right now is that it takes longer. And that's just the truth. I love Google products, but this definitely takes longer than dealing with ChatGPT. Once you click enter on ChatGPT, it's usually just written for you, and it's beautiful. It comes out, and you're likely going to like it. I'm going to stick this in here. And so we've got us a nice little cool resume. And what's happened, did you notice? It's already formatted. Like, you don't have to worry about going in and formatting anything. It's there. So it's got a spot for your skills, your education, your different experiences and summary. Think about how much time you spend if you are somebody who creates resumes or you review resumes and they're in terrible formats, or your parsing engine, you fall out of a parsing engine like an ATS unit because your resume can't be read. Those are all reasons why you want to go with something a little bit more default like this. So it makes it a lot easier. And if Google's saying, hey, this is the resume format, then maybe you might want to consider that and think about why. But this works for everything. And so I think that there's even spaces in Sheets, and I'm not sure. So I'm going to pop that up and see if I can open up Sheets and see, because I'm pretty sure it's in Sheets too, but I'm not exactly 100% sure. So let me confirm that really quickly. But if it is in Sheets, it's going to help you to create it's going to help you create the type of document or thing that you want to do. And so this is, no, I don't think it is in Sheets. I think I'm fibbing. It might be in Slides. Yeah. So anyway, there's enough magic going on in Sheets. You don't need it to be in Sheets anyway. But guys, there's more. So not only do you have that, but in ChatGPT, you also now have plugins. So we're going to move on from Google for just a second. We're going to go think about ChatGPT. And I am going to pull up ChatGPT, and we're going to go here. And I might actually pull that up on a different screen. I'm not actually. Okay. So when we're thinking about ChatGPT, if you are upgraded user, which I do have ChatGPT Plus, you now have access to ChatGPT 4, and then you also have plugins. So now you have plugins. Let's look at these plugins and see what's going on with these plugins. So you have the ability to have different plugins turned on for you, and you can see some of the ones that I'm using, but you can look at the different plugins that you have and what they do. So now, I've got some installed, so you can see the ones that I have installed here on the popular page at least. And so there's something called Show Me. That is where you can create and edit diagrams automatically. You have something called Link Reader. You can ask your PDF. You can also search for flights and rental cars and get recommendations on where you can go based on your budget. And of course, there is a Zapier plugin. All of these plugins, there's hundreds out here already, which is great. But they let you use AI in conjunction with whatever the function of that plugin is. And so like this last one, you'll see you can create notebooks in Python and SQL and Markdown to explore data and visualize that data using a notebook that's shared with everyone. These are game changing because, so let's see, you have certain things available to you when you're using this, and it will allow you to do certain things in ChatGPT. That's what a plugin does. So whatever it is that you have turned on, you're able to do that. But also, you're able to browse the internet. And so that is revolutionary. So you're able to browse the internet. And I'm going to ask it, what is the Meta Mind Shift Show? And y'all, I don't know what it's going to say. What is the Meta Mind Shift Show? And so up here at the top, you can see that it is browsing the web, and it's clicking on links. Now, this takes a little bit longer. One, because it's Bing and not Google. So you get what you get. But also, it is reading through different links. So it's not going to just pull up one link. It is going to click through several different links. So now, before, we were always told, hey, ChatGPT does not have access to the internet. It doesn't have knowledge of current events beyond 2021. Well, now with this plugin turned on for Plus accounts, it does. And so what we're seeing is this. So when I ask the question, what is the Meta Mind Shift Show? It says, the Meta Mind Shift Show is a podcast presented by NiKole Maxwell, who's known as the Metaverse Goddess. The show explores the metaverse, which represents a new era of digital transformation. It seeks to address pressing questions about the metaverse and who belongs in it. The podcast also interviews and panel discussions focused around the metaverse and the BIPOC community. Throughout the show's season, the audience embarks on a journey through the metaverse with NiKole Maxwell as their guide. They delve deeper into this exciting new digital realm, exploring virtual worlds and discussing the latest achievements in AI, RPA, blockchain, and Web3. They also explore innovative ways to experience augmented reality, AR, virtual reality, VR, and extended reality. The show covers the latest trends and insights on how to navigate the metaverse, catches up with the news, and unpacks issues that aren't widely discussed elsewhere. Yo, that sounds so familiar. I wonder who wrote it. Yep. So certain things on the internet are not the way that you want them to be. This is a way to validate what the internet knows and what the internet doesn't know. And now you can start seasoning with some stuff that it's supposed to know and doesn't know. And so that is part of transformation. So you are looking at a real live transformation, because when I was first asking this question of things like Bard, it was not saying what I wanted it to say. So I had to go in and do some adjustments on certain things. So I did. And this is the outcome of that. Now, when I ask the Chat GPT or Bing or Google, who and what am I, they know. And so that is important. But when we think about that power, y'all, this is another reason for decentralization, because think about how many people are actually doing this. And, some of it's truthful, some of it's not, some of it is, they do whatever they're paid for. But these are things that people are doing. And so, one, trust on the internet is going to change drastically with the injection of AI, because it's coming, right? Where people are going to realize they can just go in and say whatever the heck they want to. So when someone searches for it, that's what's going to come up. Not that you couldn't do that before, but your results were limited. Now you have tools that actually weed through those results to give you the results that are actually, considered truthful. And then malicious behavior is another thing that we all need to be very mindful of. We're talking about those things when it comes to politics and global, warfare, essentially. But on the local level, it affects us as a community, because we know that there are people who are out to harm us in many different ways. Women who are trying to stay hidden, or I guess victims who are trying to stay hidden. Discovery of data, privacy of data is something that is changing drastically every single day. So we have got to stay abreast of what is happening. And finally, what did I say? Skyboxes for the metaverse is a thing. AI skyboxes generated by NiKole are going to be a thing. So if your metaverse space needs a 360 view, I've been talking about this for a while. I finally found a tool that is going to help me do what I want. I've had a blast. So that is going into the creative things that I do, which is going to be, helping to beautify the metaverse as we head into the 30 days of metaverse. Think about the 30 days of metaverse and participating. If you want to participate in the 30 days of metaverse, all you have to do is tweet it out every day. We are using Twitter, but I'm also going to use Blue Sky. So if you're on Blue Sky, then tweet it, twerk it out, chirp it out there with me too. If you're on Instagram or TikTok, do it wherever. Get the movement out. Starting on June 1st, commit to 30 days of thinking about the metaverse and being, kind of extra with the metaverse and intentional with your movements around the metaverse. And just make that commitment to either think about it or do it every day during the month. And so that is, there's no length of time requirement other than 30 days consistently. There are holdouts and stuff like that. Check out my blog, because over on Hashnode, I do talk about how to actually get some of that stuff done. And so let's just take a look at that really quick before we close out. So I'm going to go over to shift.technikole.com. That is where the blog is. It's going to take us over to the Hashnode blog. It is on the Hashnode site. This is what it should look like if you land here. So the most recent article right now is decentralization and why it still matters with AR. That's AI. That's where we talked about the article about omnivore. And then when we scroll down all the way down here, there's a bunch of stuff missing from this particular blog, but you see the introduction to the 30 days of metaverse. And so that was on May 31st, 2022. And it's a 4-minute read, but it tells you all about it, how to participate, your daily steps, and then a few tips. Down here, I think I also updated it because utility was the thing back then. So what is the utility of this specific project, and why should people care? And that's really what that part is all about, is kind of just to address the utility, because that was such a hot topic at the time. It's funny, even that. I'm going to do a refreshed article, but all you have to do is post it, share it with the hashtag 30 days of metaverse, and then I will see it, and I will tweet out certain things that, are cool on a daily basis, so that people, get the inspiration. I'll certainly share mine. The link to the collection is here on OpenSea, and I actually did go ahead and post all of those for sale. So if you want to buy one of the originals, they're out there too. One of them, at least one of them, has a scholarship in it to Google Career Certificates. And so, yeah, like there's a lot of cool stuff out here. One thing I will say that is a result of last year is that I had a couple of these NFTs that I did. So there's 31 NFTs on OpenSea, including the original tweet. But also, I had created NFTs on some platforms that were just up and coming, and I had them as bonus material. And unfortunately, those platforms were not actually on the blockchain. And so they turned off their, whatever platform they were using and started using something else. And so my stuff is gone. I'm very disturbed by that. And so if ever I could get in touch with them, I would really like to just chew them out a little bit, because it was one of my better creations that I put over there. But, it is what it is. One creation that I am extremely proud of, y'all, thinking about creations, and since we're here on my site anyway, is IWB. IWB was the International Women of Blockchain conference that we did last year. So I took a minute this year, now to really just sit with this and provide my memoirs about this. But I look back at like who I am to the metaverse, and what the metaverse is to me, and the contributions that I made just in this one single event, albeit the event was historic. I put my whole heart and soul into this thing. So International Women of Blockchain last year was held, and it was historical because it was a 31-day event. 31 days. And so we held that event every single day for 31 days. I was the executive producer of that show, of that experience. And man, it was a good time. I got to meet over 100 women who were active on the blockchain. At the time, women on the blockchain, it was like, yo, we were scarce. The Unstoppable Women of Web3 was just now rolling out. It rolled out. We did this during Women's History Month, and so all those programs kind of rolled out at the same time. But I wrote this article to, first of all, pat myself on the back, because if ain't nobody else going to do it, I'm going to do it for my doggone self. But also to just kind of sit with the memories, because we had some really good memories. This was the production team, and that's me, Naja Roberts, Yinko Dinnerin, Corey Clay, and Tam Fitzgerald. Those were my moderators and the production team. My company put in over 120 hours of labor on this thing. Like, y'all, I'm talking every single day. We did something fantastic and wonderful for this event. I set up the Discord server. The Discord server was used to celebrate women. We used it as a green room. We used it as an administrative prep room when Trello proved to be too hard for the team to use. I did all that kind of stuff. This is one of my first NFTs of the year. So I have been doing generative art for 2 years now, because I started at the end of 2021. But this was one of the first ones rolling into 2022. And I created this specifically with the words International Women of Blockchain Unbound, or it was something like that, like released from chains or something like that. And so this piece is my Genesis piece over on Solana. Y'all know I am not a fan of Solana, but it happens because that's, you know, where this was. It was over on Solana. And I don't like Solana for many reasons, but it was rough getting this together. It was rough getting it minted. It costs a lot of money to, in my opinion, to get this minted because it failed. And every time that it failed, it took money out of my wallet. And I was just like, yo, what is really happening? But anyway, moving on, I digress. I created 2 metaverse experiences for this event. One of them was for the artwork and things, and just, you know, kind of a tribute. The other one was the endometriosis art gallery that I put together. And I want to say there was another one, but yeah, so it might have been 3, but definitely 2. Budget friendly, y'all. I saved this organization $180,000 in actually being able to run the event because a certain production partner wanted to use, or that we were going to use, was going to charge us $18,000 every 3 days. So that's crazy. Bonuses. So shots out, I already gave that to the folks who were involved there. Natasha Rivera was also very critical to that event because she is the one who was very helpful out on social media. She came in to fill in the gap for some other folks who had kind of flaked off. And then we appeared on Ahead of the Crypto Curve. This marked my second time going on Naja Roberts' show, which was Ahead of the Crypto Curve on Tavis Smiley's KBLA 1510. Technologies that I use, like this is really kind of why I put this together, because I was putting this somewhere else and I'm like, hold up, like this is I need to like capture this. So I use Spatial for the metaverse experiences. I used Ethereum and the Solana blockchain. I used StreamYard for streaming. Canva for NFT development. It was kind of like the hub for everything. I created GIFs out there, the backdrops that you see, the placards for people. Ready Player Me is what I used. I also used FaceRig, which is called Animes. I used Immersed VR because I appeared on screen as my avatar, which you guys have seen me do now, but was totally different a year ago. Like this wasn't the norm, right? Like you guys see that kind of stuff a lot now, especially here on the show. But I did that for the first time because I went to a conference and somebody showed up as their bored ape. And I was like, yo, I can do that. And FaceRig is actually something that I used way back in 2010, 2011, when I was streaming out on Twitch as a gamer. So just cool stuff. Everything just comes full circle. The Holoplex, that is where my NFT is supposed to be. It looks like this also has gone down. So my NFT is supposed to be out there. I'm assuming my NFT is still on the Solana blockchain. I did not look for it, but if it's a blockchain, my NFT should still be out there. So it will definitely be out there, even if the store is not, and that is the power of the store. Now, I contributed more than just all the stuff I just said, which is a lot, right? I also created the Futuristic Fridays in the Metaverse. And so Futuristic Fridays in the Metaverse was something where every Friday I helped people break down what the Metaverse was and then brought in experts to help me do that. So the first thing that I did was introduction to the Metaverse. You guys can watch all these videos, go to my blog. Each of these videos, you can click the link and it'll take you over to the IWB platform and you'll see it. But this was my introduction to the Metaverse presentation that I created for this event. And this was like right there. You can see some of the slides there. How will we access the Metaverse? And then who's the Metaverse for? And of course, it's for everyone. And back then, that's when they were saying that the Metaverse is going to be like an $800 billion industry, even though like now we know the numbers have gone way up and it's 13 trillion, right? But this is where we started. Again, this is the reason why video is good, because it shows what actually happened. It shows who did what. and who participated and contributed into this process. One of my favorite ladies, y'all see her all the time in her video because she sponsors the show, but this was Artsy in VR, and Artsy and I had a great interview. Artsy came on and she showcased Altspace, and she showcased her work as a luxury VR builder, and this was fantastic. I interviewed Adrienne the 10, who is one of the first football players, the first women in football. She had a NFT collection out on Cardano called GQ NFTs. And this was my second interview with her. I interviewed with Miriam from Crypto Gang Clash, and she was a part of a project where she was the only female, and she was talking about that and that experience. That was week 1. And so I go through all the weeks because all the weeks are important. That's me and Brianna Faye, which is, just an outstanding woman who has done so much. We had a great conversation with Charmaine Short and Corey Clay over at Crypto. Oh my gosh, Color Me Crypto. But we had great conversation there. We talked about the challenges that women have and what we as Black women are going to have, like challenges with our hair. And I think this is when I talked about my contacts kind of cracking or not cracking, but drying out when we put on the headset. So we talked about people with disabilities and differabilities. Week 3, I had such a good time doing this. Week 3, I met with Courtney Savoy Harper. And Courtney Savoy Harper is, first of all, an outstanding artist, but she's also a high school virtual reality teacher, educator. And so she has this whole tribe of students who come with her, and the students are tapping into VR. Now, this was, and I met Courtney a couple years ago on Clubhouse, but this was last year. And so, now it's kind of like becoming commonplace to think about this stuff, but she's been doing this stuff for a couple of years now, right? I met with Pamela, the Brickerati, and she talked to us about the future of community. I don't actually have her here, but she gave a great presentation about, community and where we're heading with tokens and how, assets are driving community. Then I met with my homegirl, which is Janine Smith. She's a Grammy-nominated singer and artist, and she had just come out with her newly minted album. And so she was releasing music on the blockchain and had actually just released a track. Her record company, or her label, is called Sorority Records, and they were at the time starting to mint her music as NFTs. And so we talked about that. Then I had one of my favorite people in the whole world, and she's a STEM educator, Natalie Watergirl Raw Hannahs, and she talked to us about her NFT journey, but she also talked to us about her dad and how, her experience with her dad opened things up to the conversation about NFTs. And then finally, we had week 4, which was the grand finale, Futuristic Fridays in the Metaverse. And y'all, this is me right here. I am in the space. So it's not like I do when I'm on this show. I was actually streaming from VR onto the screen. So it's hard to describe, but like that's actually me in VR. And it's different than an avatar just representing you. Like I was actually there, like you could actually see it. And yeah, that was the finale. So we had an outstanding finale. We actually met with the women of domaining, Patricia Rivera and Diana McClure. And then we went metaverse hopping. So we went through Decentraland and the African Museum of the Metaverse with Ness Rocks. And we jumped into Connect Club, which at the time was an aspiring little metaverse for mobile. But man, I just wanted to capture that because there was a lot that went into that. So, they actually kicked off the International Women of Blockchain in 2023 as well. And I think that it was extremely trimmed down. But I'm going to start like recapturing some of the things that I was a part of, because I didn't do a good job of that because I was so busy doing all the stuff. So, I think that it's really important that you be able to quantify what it is that you've done and make sure that your record is correct wherever it may be. So I wanted to share that with y'all, my audience. I appreciate you for listening. So what else? Yeah, proposals AI. Don't forget, sign up. I am going to send this link out one more time. It'll be technikole.com/sip. Don't go there yet. Mark it down, because I need to connect it to the Eventbrite. But that is what we're doing. So technikole.com/sip. And you will be able to come and enjoy. This week is going to be proposals. The final week of the year or of the month is also going to be proposals, and I'll wrap this all into 30 days of Metaverse somehow. But also the next couple of weeks are going to be creators. So we're creating. Sip and Learns are going to be done for creatives out here. So if you're creative, if you're a business owner, we are tapping into augmented reality. Augmented creativity is what we're tapping into. So you'll be able to hang out with me, learn a little something, greater detail than what you hear here on the show. I'm exhausted. We've been on for way too long. It's time to go. So I'm going to shut this down. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you to my sponsors. Thank you to Artsy and VR. Thank you to the EE Testing Center. Thank you to our showrunner, Mark Lee. And thank you to Pod TV over there. And everybody else who supports this show and the stuff that I do. I appreciate all y'all. Don't forget to tap in, and I will see you in the OON. And that's for my brother and sister who are watching. So bye.
Technology is changing at the fastest pace seen in years. Are you keeping up? New technologies are emerging as a result of the digital transformation all the time. Small businesses need to be prepared to adapt. Stay sharp. Let Technikole Consulting help you ensure your business is ready as we head towards a metaverse.